Okay, so it's Sunday. We all have seen the news of President Biden stepping out of the race for president. And I had a thought. A few years ago, I was invited to do this journal where they asked me, what do you do when the news cycle is relentless? And I know for myself, even in hearing that he stepped down, I was on the phone with my mom. My friends were texting me, group chats were going off, that there were a lot of emotions coming up at one time about what does this mean, about people thinking about the what ifs, the election, what does this mean for our future, da 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 da. And what it made me think about is that, in the next few days, starting today, the news cycle, social media, your conversations are all going to be, or it can be, relentless in the fact that it's all going to be about this one topic. And if it's bringing up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions for you, a lot of fears, a lot of uncertainties, anxieties, etc., then you have to remember, how do I take care of myself when all of this is happening around me? What do I do to take care of me? And so the first thing that I always start with is self, right? Like, how do you start with yourself? So the first thing you're going to do is check in with you. How are you feeling? For some people, it will be like, celebratory. They're happy. Nothing has changed. For others, there may be a lot of fears, anxieties, worries, concerns that are coming up. Now, how is that showing up in your body? What are you noticing? Are there a lot of consuming thoughts? Is it showing up in your heart rate? Is your stomach upset? Are you just feeling like down, not yourself? Because that's how you're going to start with, what do I need? If you're starting your day and you're already feeling that stress when you wake up tomorrow morning, that's a good sign that the first thing you need to do is not social media, is not TV or the news or any of that, but you got to do something to release and take care of you first. What are those releases? It can be exercise. Movement is healing. Get out in nature. I cannot say it enough, because again, nature is healing. Get out in nature, get out and move, do something to move your body. It can be walking, it can be running. Turn your music up high and dance and just sing it out, dance it out. But you want to move that energy around your body. It can be yoga, it can be Pilates, whatever it is. Figure out what you need in that moment. What are your other releases? So if exercise or movement are not the only releases that you have, what else help you? If you're an artist, is it doing artwork, drawing, painting, something like that, creative? Is it writing? Is it reading? Sometimes reading can be a way of redirecting the thoughts. Is it journaling? So figure out what your releases are. So we have check in with self, your releases, whatever they may be. You might want to journal or do something like that, just to think about what are the emotions and the things that are coming up. The other that are coming up for you, let me finish that sentence. What are the things that are coming up for you? The other thing is, we're humans, so there is no escaping feelings. You have to feel that. You got to feel the feelings. There is no escaping the feelings. What I'm giving you are some tools and strategies to help you manage it. But some of that is just going to be feeling. What am I feeling right now? What's causing that feeling? This is disappointment, it's hurt, it's frustration. What's causing it? Okay, some of that is feeling it, and then you can go on to those other things. So I don't want to ignore that. So we talked about journaling, we talked about movement. If you're artistic, think of all of the things. So it could be poetry, it could be writing, and any of that. You also want to think about what joy looks like in this moment. I know something can feel consuming, but both things can be true. I love Chelsea Jackson Roberts from Peloton, and one of the things she always talks about is the both and. So this situation can be very anxiety provoking, and you can still experience joy. What does joy look like for you in this moment? Who are the people that you can talk to, that you do things with, or the things you can do by yourself? You can think about those happy places, those happy times, and redirect your thoughts to that. Is it a movie? Is it a certain song? Is it a favorite meal? Is it a place in your home? Like, really think about what brings you joy and dig into that. Is it spiritual? Is it religious? Is it a cultural practice? This is where you tap into those strengths. The other thing is community. I cannot emphasize this enough, but there is power in community. There is healing in community. One of my colleagues used to say all the time, we are injured individually, but we are healed through community. And so who are your people? Who are the people that helps you to feel grounded, who remind you of who you are, that help you to feel safe, that maybe you could talk about some of these things with, or maybe not. So that gives you the options. If you're in therapy, this may be a time that you talk about these things with your therapist so that you can get some strategies that are specific to what you're feeling in the moment. And then lastly, I just want to say, other things, so relaxation strategies like meditation and mindfulness practices, things that sort of take your thoughts out of the what ifs, that this can happen, that all of these things, to being in the present moment, sort of quieting those thoughts so that you can think more clearly. The last piece that I will say is take a break. Figure out what your limit is and take a break, because again, when these types of things happen, it's consuming from all of the angles. It's social media, it's conversations, it's on the news, it's breaking news in between, even if you're trying to watch something else. So take a break. Get off of social media, get off of your phone, turn the TV off and do something else. And again, you can go back to those releases we talked about instead, or sometimes it's sitting with yourself. So figure all of that out. And then the last piece is activism. Sometimes we have to feel empowered, or even if it feels like a lot of things are happening outside of our control, what are the things that are within our control? And so this is where you can think about, what does activism or change or contributions for me look like in this moment? So it may be joining an organization and volunteering. It might be doing some, what do you call it? Like voter registrations. It may be seeing, like what's in your community or organizations that you're a part of where you can support and help make a change in that way. I just wanted to get on here really quickly because again, when these types of things happen, it's a lot to take in at one moment. And I'm always big on preservation of self first. Check in with you, figure out what you're feeling, figure out what you're needing, and recognize that what you need today may look different from tomorrow, may look different from next Friday. And so you deserve to always get whatever it is you need. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All right.